Welcome to the Business of Property podcast. I'm Simon, and I've been investing in property for over 20 years. And if you're an active landlord or planning your next property investment, this podcast is for you. Welcome to June 2025. It's a new month, so it must be time for me to look at the latest property market stats from PATMA. I'll be reviewing information from May, going right up to and including the very end of the month. Before I start though, a quick reminder that you can get an email version of this data for free every Monday morning. Just start a free trial with PATMA and make sure you opt in to the mailing list. There will be a link to do that in the show notes. This month, I'm going to start with some non-data, sort of conversation-based observations. In the last couple of weeks, everyone, I think, providing property-related services that I've spoken to has been a bit on the negative side. This has included accountants, builders, mortgage brokers, and others as well. They've all told me things are unexpectedly slow at the moment and have been sort of recently. That perhaps offers are below asking prices, although I don't think that's particularly news, but maybe they're suggesting that they're a bit more below asking price than they have been. And it's very much a buyer's market. These have generally been people local to me, so that means in the southeast. So it will be interesting, I think, to see if the England-wide data that I'm going to look at with you today actually agrees with these more local sentiments or not. So starting with the number of new property listings, it's remarkable how well these track school holidays, I think, with a clear reduction here over Easter, and then a quick catch-up straight after when everyone was rushing here to get things done again when they're actually back at work. And then we have seen a steady increase throughout May as the weeks have passed, right up until half term, which was at the end of May, when new listing levels drop right back down again. Hopefully that's just temporary again, and we will see new listings pick up again this week, which is the first week back after the holiday. Average listing prices are up next, and they are indeed up for most of the market. They aren't up very much, but they are up a little for 1 and 2 bed properties, and slightly less, but still up for 3 bed properties as well, or as an average. But they've seen a slight fall for 4 and 5 bedroom properties. So it looks like the larger end of the market is perhaps struggling a little bit more, or has been struggling a little bit more in May. If we compare to a year ago, all bedroom counts see a comfortable increase. Of course, listing prices are only the start of the story though. And while they're up on a year ago, the frequency of price reductions is also up. May saw 21% of property listings get a price reduction. That compares with only 19% in May 2024. And that's following 20% of listings getting a reduction in April this year versus 17% getting a reduction in April 2024. Last year saw the rate of price reductions go down a little in June from that 19% in May to 18% in June. And looking at our weekly price change tracker, we can see that there is a sort of suggestion that this might be starting to happen again this year. Of course, you'll need to listen again in a month to see what does actually happen though. The number of properties selling each week seems to be holding fairly steady, which I think has got to be a relatively positive sign. There is sort of up and downs over the weeks, but if you sort of level them all out and allow for holidays, etc., I think we're holding roughly steady. But the number of days for a property to sell, so how long it's been on the market up to the point at which it sells, is creeping up. It is, however, only following the normal seasonal pattern. So I'm not sure, and reaching a level of 58 days on the market, which is actually just the same as it was in May last year. So I think that really is very comparable and not really anything to be obviously worried about. So I'm not sure the England-wide data really supports the Southeast anecdotes that I've been hearing. Yes, the rate of reductions is up a bit, but so are initial listing prices. So perhaps they sort of balance themselves out a bit. Or perhaps listing prices are just coming on a bit too high at the moment, and then it's that sort of need to reduce prices that is actually sort of driving the slightly downbeat feeling among people working in the industry. The speed of sales is following a normal seasonal pattern and is at a normal seasonal level. So I don't think that suggests any sort of fundamental issue at the moment. Have these people in the industry detected early signs, though, that aren't showing up in the data yet? I don't know. And I think we'll have to wait for next month's report to really know how that works out. Just to finish up, a quick look at rental listing prices. They've seen a fairly significant increase of about 1% or perhaps even more across the board. And that's 1% up from April this year. So that's a month-on-month increase. Comparing to last year, the average 3-bed rent was up about 2.5% in May. So overall rents do seem to be sort of pushing on a bit more than sales prices again at the moment. Now that's all for your latest property market stats update this time around. Please do remember that you can get the very latest stats for free every Monday morning by starting a free trial with Patma at patma.co.uk. That's patma.co.uk. And that link will also be in the show notes. With a Patma Deal Finder Pro subscription, you can also get localized property market data specifically for your area rather than the England-wide data which we've been looking at today. I hope you found this roundup useful, and I look forward to speaking to you again